David Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. I'm thankful to join you on this Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day to you, and I hope you had a pleasant one. I hope the showers, especially around and south of town, did not interrupt any of your plans too much. I'm live on Facebook, on Twitter, and YouTube. Cameron Walker for WashingtonPost.com/weather. For Capital Weather Gang. All right, the week ahead is starting below average, below our kind of roughly 80-degree average for this time of year, and clouds are a bit of a question mark for Tuesday, Wednesday, perhaps even into Thursday, but what's higher confidence is Friday being very warm, if not hot. We could see 90 degrees possible, our first official 90-degree day reading this upcoming Friday, and Saturday should stay warm as well. Yes, indeed. I'm glad you got some rain there in North Baltimore, Peter. We do need that. Hello, Ruth Elisa. Thanks so much for tuning in. Latest forecast by Jason Samanow at CWG.news/latest. And radar is still a bit active in the region, but these echoes that you see on the radar should slowly calm tonight. We should see more of the hit or miss shower variety for Tuesday and Wednesday, maybe even a sprinkle Thursday, but it's a pesky front that's sinking south of us this evening. This even is Wednesday's map. Look ahead to Wednesday. We still have this stationary front, kind of a wedge of cooler, moist air off of the Chesapeake Bay, off of the Atlantic, with kind of an east and northeast wind fetch, supplying some of that cooler air and that moisture off of the Chesapeake and the Atlantic. So we have maybe some hit or miss shower chances, some sprinkles, maybe a little bit of drizzle here and there, but it's mainly clouds this upcoming week that are the question mark for tomorrow and Wednesday, maybe even into Thursday. Cloud levels are uncertain. The blue and gray here are clouds in this animation, and they are fairly pesky, at least for the beginning of this week. Hello, Maria. Hello, David. Good evening. Happy Memorial Day, Ruth, Elisa. Hi, Julia. Good to see you. And plans to need this rain? Yes, indeed. Thanks for joining from YouTube. And Maria, hello. And Peter, I'm sorry the rain did not make it up to you. We've had a sharp cutoff. Let's talk about the rain we've received thus far. It has been a sharp cutoff right around DC, points north, not seeing much of any, and points south, and especially southeast of town, are seeing much more in the way of some beneficial rains. And we could use it. The recent rainfalls are here. So let me reverse that order. So here are the recent rainfall amounts, and it has again still been a sharp cutoff around DC. Points south of us have seen much more rain from this meandering low pressure system and frontal boundary that is kind of stalling over our region as it moves slowly southward tonight. It stalls over us later this week, maybe producing a half-inch of rain if we're lucky in some of the spots. Look for the little pieces of blue. The blue coloring is a half-inch of rain for this upcoming few days. I picked through Thursday because rain chances should reduce by Thursday and definitely on Friday. It looks like high confidence. We are bright skies. No chance of rain on Friday, and we could get hot, near or around 90 degrees possible. All right, hello, Paul, sitting outside your covered porch listening to rain. That sounds very pleasant, Paul. And glad you got some rain in Silver Spring. David, and yep, DCA did get around a half-inch of rain, luckily. And Purcellville looks about as far north as the rain has gotten. Yep, there's that sharp cutoff, and that can remain. Here's the recent rain amounts, which may be a half-inch in luckiest spots in the blue, and maybe an additional half-inch in the blue well southeast of town in the Hampton Roads area. And the humidity outlook, Amy, is less today. Today was kind of the peak potential humidity with dew points in the mid-60s. We do kind of ease down a little bit with this cold front moving through kind of quietly tonight. It should reduce temperatures and the dew points, so we'll feel a little bit less moist tomorrow and into the rest of the week. And even when we get warm on Friday, it should be not too humid to speak of. So here's radar, fairly active tonight. But we should ease these rain chances downward. Really more of a cloud issue for Tuesday, Wednesday, and into Thursday, perhaps a little bit as well. Rain chances are on the decrease, but can't rule out a hit or miss shower Tuesday, Wednesday, even thunder shower possible, maybe one or two into Thursday as well. But by Friday, we are warm, we are sunny. Clouds are no longer the question mark that they are for the early part of this week into the middle part of this week. We start a little cool, but the warming trend should get us going by Thursday and definitely by Friday when we could see our first 90-degree reading of the year. DCA has yet to hit 90 degrees. Can you believe it? And these temperatures Tuesday and Wednesday, if we see more clouds than currently expected, we could be stuck in the 60s for some of us in the coolest spots. But right now, most of us should see 70s for Tuesday and Wednesday. Latest forecast at CWG.news/latest. This takes you through next weekend when we could see another cold front move through with some rain chances. But I don't want to overpromise anything. Gardeners, you might want to water a little bit this week. Farmers as well. We are still in this rainfall deficit, which I want to talk about. In a percentage form, well below half of what we normally would see is up there in eastern Pennsylvania in the darker oranges, and a few spots down into the Blue Ridge Mountains into central Virginia around Stanton approximately. And here's the longer term impacts. Drought conditions have kind of shrunken a little bit in the southern part of the Delmarva, so that's some good news. But generally, no change to these couple patches of drought just north of Winchester and just southeast of DC. Those are where gardeners, farmers, you're likely noticing some very dry conditions in your plantings, your vegetables and fruits, and any plants and flowering plants as well. You've had to water a little bit more than usual. And in the yellow, while not technically a drought, it is still abnormally dry, and the rainfall deficit has kind of caught up to us in a hydrological and agricultural sense. We do need to be very mindful with our watering this time of year. That sun angle is very high, so when we do see peaks of sun, definitely by Thursday and into Friday for sure looks very bright. That soil is immediately, well, baked for lack of a better term, and that soil moisture gets evaporated pretty darn quickly. All right, yep. We've had some downpours associated with this cold front moving through, David. And Amy, I'm glad you will have lower humidity by the end of this week. And daylight continues to increase as we get closer and closer to the summer solstice. 14 hours and 54 minutes is about the peak length of day from sunrise to sunset that we see for the summer solstice. But right now, hey, over 14 and a half hours of daylight is not bad. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Thanks for joining me on all three tonight as we do a holiday edition of our weekly chats Q&A. And pollen high in the trees and the grasses. You are certainly feeling it like I am, fellow allergy sufferers. Amy, you're most welcome. All right, so Saturday temperatures, looking ahead to the weekend, we've got fairly warm conditions. We'll see how clouds and showers maybe move into the region. More so by Sunday when temperatures are expected to be maybe a little bit cooler, around 80 degrees instead of into the 80s like we see on potentially Saturday. The outlook further ahead into next work week actually might lean below average. The light blue shading indicates a slight probability of below average temperatures. Now precipitation, not a clear signal either way. The white indicating the atmosphere make up its mind, doesn't want to lean above average or below average, hopefully near normal, even though that's not a guarantee either. We'll see as we get into next work week. I wish I could report a clearer signal of even a slight probability of above average precipitation, but you have to go to New England for that, or down into the Tennessee River Valley as well. All right, tropics are quiet for the next 7 days, it is expected, as we get closer to the June 1 beginning officially of hurricane season in the Atlantic Basin. May 15th was the start of the hurricane season in the eastern Pacific, but for us on the Atlantic side, things are quiet and expected to maybe lean near average. Here's the National Hurricane Center NOAA outlook for the season. So near average for our named storms this year. We'll see if El Nino in the tropical Pacific can keep things a little bit capped, a little bit under wraps, and activity a little bit more subdued this year, but it's complicated. That's just one ingredient when looking out for the entire June 1 to November 30th tropical season. All right, I'm Camden Walker. I want to show you your forecast at a glance. I'm for Capital Weather Gang, happy to talk to you for our weekly Q&A Sunset Chats. It's a holiday edition instead of our weekly Sunday Sunset Chat, but you'll talk to me again next Sunday since it's not a holiday. Latest forecast at CWG.news/latest. And as you can see, we start a little bit below average to start the week, Tuesday and Wednesday. maybe a few clouds around at times. Clouds are kind of a question mark Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe even into Thursday. Can't rule out a spit of a shower, a little bit of drizzle every now and then, maybe even a thunder shower. But rain chances really are lowering and diminishing after tonight. Just have maybe a small umbrella on you for the remainder of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe, but Friday is the high confidence forecast day that will be sunny. Sunshine looks abundant, and we will be warm, potentially near and around 90 degrees, perhaps our first 90-degree day of the season. And Paul, you're hoping Sunday is dry as your club has your annual car show that day. I hope I can give you some dry weather on Sunday, but I don't want to get your hopes up too high. There are some question marks, kind of lower forecast confidence when looking that far out. But check out Jason Salmonell's explanation for more details at CWG.news/latest. I'm Cameron Walker for WashingtonPost.com/weather. Anytime you need us. All right, glad we're getting near 90. Alex wants some warmth. And yeah, we're a little bit overdue. We normally do see our first 90-degree day. And Duval on Twitter, indeed, I agree with you. We need the rain, Duval. So we hopefully can get that to you sooner than later. Radar tonight is still active as this cold front moves through. So in the near term through tonight, we have some welcome rain showers as this cold front is slowly sagging south and west of us tonight. But let me show you the frontal setup this week. For Tuesday and into Wednesday, we actually have this cold front moving south of us tonight. It pauses and becomes a stationary front southwest of us. In the hatched green here, we've got shower chances, maybe even a quick thunder shower, but that's not too likely. Hit or miss shower, drizzle, spits of raindrops. Tuesday and Wednesday, it looks like it's possible. A small umbrella needed if you are risk averse to getting just a hair wet, but nothing too heavy and nothing long-lasting expected. And some of this could continue into Thursday, but mainly it's a cloud issue, a cloud question mark for tomorrow and into Wednesday. Blue and gray indicated for heavy cloud cover in this animation. These could hold temperatures back maybe in some parts of the region tomorrow and into maybe Wednesday. We could see some 60s hanging tough and not getting above 70 degrees, but most of us should get into the 70s. Still below average, below our roughly 80-degree average for this time of year. But the cloud chances do diminish by later Thursday and into Friday, and that's why we have a good chance of getting into the upper 80s, perhaps even low 90s for Friday. The recent rain amounts in the luckiest spots in the blue and in the colors that are brighter than that, that's at least a half inch of rain when you see blue on the map. Yep, backdoor cold front dynamic on Twitter. Thank you for that. It is indeed moving from backdoor northeast to southwest this week, and that's why with this type of setup and showers, this map is on Wednesday, still hanging this stationary like a curtain. The stationary boundary is going to have east-northeasterly fetches of wind off of the Atlantic, off of the Chesapeake Bay. This kind of cooler water will influence the air mass over us and kind of it wedges. That's why it's called sometimes a wedge of cool, cloudy air at times. It could wedge against the Blue Ridge and the Appalachians from northeast to building toward the southwest and just kind of hunkered into the mountainsides and not really able to dislodge very easily, holding back potentially our temperatures in some parts of the region tomorrow might stay below 70 degrees, but it's a low-medium forecast. Most of us should see 70s, if not a bit warmer for Tuesday into Wednesday. Looking forward through Thursday, that's when our rain chances kind of start really pulling back to zero by late Thursday into Friday. But through Thursday, we could see maybe a quarter to a half inch of rain in the luckiest spots. Again, look for those blues down in the Hampton Roads area. Those are the luckiest spots. Seeing potentially another half inch of rain through Thursday. So you were very lucky down, we need it though, in southeastern Virginia. That's where there's still some drought. In the southern part of the Delmarva, and this indicated here in the light orange. A couple other drought spots, still luckily just moderate drought, the first level of droughts north of Winchester and southeast of DC. And you're not completely wrong if you are watering a lot lately. In the oranges and into the yellows, we are pretty darn dry percentage-wise year to date. We need at least 2 inches, if not 6 inches, to handle to get more even where we should be by this point in the year since January 1. All right, Lewis is going to be working outdoors all week. Doesn't sound too bad. I agree. And it was not a tropical system, David. It did not develop. It was banded quite well when it moved on shore, this low pressure system, into southern North Carolina. But as it has meandered toward us, definitely no tropical characteristics to speak of. It officially remained a non tropical low pressure system. All right, Amy, I don't think we'll give you our summer outlook as we get closer into meteorological summer. That starts on June 1. But you are hopefully enjoying what is kind of a rare treat in DC, kind of a prolonged spring-like feeling to the temperatures. I hope that is a good thing for you. And cold air wedging, David, and damming against the Blue Ridge and the Appalachians, indeed, is a very good weather term as it moves the northeast from northeast to the southwest. This kind of cooler fetch of wind behind this stationary front that's moving to the southwest tonight and going to stall out south of us. It will provide some cooler air off of the Atlantic and the Chesapeake Bay to keep us a little bit cloudy this week, especially Tuesday and Wednesday potentially. Cloud levels are a bit uncertain, but they're going to be the main driver. Rain chances are going to kind of diminish a little bit after tonight, even though we can't fully rule out a shower, maybe a quick thunder shower Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe even Thursday. Clouds could stick around, but mainly a fairly dry situation with these clouds, even if we do see patchy drizzle. But Montlove, you are loving these temperatures on Twitter. I love that you love them. I think below average is not bad this time of year now that our average is at 80 degrees. And that much could continue into next week. Maybe a hair below average. There's a slight probability of below average temperatures for next work week. And looking ahead to precipitation, I wish I had a better signal, but not leaning above average, just a slight probability unless you go toward New England or the Tennessee River Valley. And again, tropics are pretty quiet for the next 7 days in the Atlantic, not officially starting until June 1, but the June 1 to November 30th outlook for the Atlantic hurricane basin activity is near average. So hopefully we can keep things fairly quiet for hurricane season this year in the tropical Atlantic. All right, one last look at radar. It's pretty active tonight, but these rain chances will diminish and move south of town as a cold front sneaks by us from northeast to southwest tonight and does set up shop, turning a bit stationary as it gets toward the southern part of Virginia into North Carolina, keeping rain chances in much of our forecast at CWG.news/latest. I'm on the air another 2 minutes. Camden Walker for WashingtonPost/WashingtonPost.com/weather and Capital Weather Game. There's our logo on my hat. And here's our holiday sunset live tonight. You'll talk to me on Sunday for our weekly Sunday sunset chat in 6 days. Now that we're doing a nice holiday Memorial Day edition, as is typical for these Monday holidays, we start out the week a little bit below average. Tuesday and Wednesday, cloud levels a bit uncertain. Clouds could hold back temperatures a bit. And rain chances are limited, but could see some spits of rain, showers, even an isolated brief thunder shower through the middle part of this week. By late Thursday into Friday, clouds have a higher confidence of pulling out, showing us more sunshine, and getting us very warm, if not hot, by Friday, near to around 90 degrees. Possible for the first time, maybe, we hit 90 degrees in DC for this time of year. Our weather maker is this low-pressure system that's kind of slowly dying out over us, spitting out, if you will, bringing us these additional rain chances through, here it is, at least Wednesday. This front moves south of us, stalls out, and continues to enhance moisture chances, cloud chances. Through Wednesday, we could be a little bit cool, a little bit below average, but 70s, 60s, upper 60s, 70s, not too bad for this time of year, even if it is below average. It is still relatively comfortable. Recently, we've gotten up to a ½ inch of rain in spots blue or brighter on this map, and we could use it, and maybe even seeing a little bit more looking forward for the next few days. Rain chances through Thursday. That's really, by Friday, we're going to be dry. So at least through Thursday, I wanted to show you a quarter, maybe a ½ inch in the luckiest spots around the Hampton Roads, helping to fill in this rainfall deficit, which continues to plague us. We only in the greens have seen above 100% of where we should be by this point in the year, and droughts luckily still very patchy in these orange places. Southern part of the Delmarva, that has shrunk, so we have less drought there. but still pesky patch of the first level droughts near Winchester and southeast of DC. Signing off in just a moment, I am Camden Walker for Capital Weather Gang. We're at WashingtonPost.com/weather. Over 14 and a half hours of daylight, and we'll keep lengthening that sunrise to sunset time as we get toward the summer solstice. Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Make sure you follow us in all three of our channels. And I've got pollen for you in the grass and trees category. You're probably feeling it like I am. Fellow allergy sufferers, I'm sorry if you are. All right, David, indeed, at least it's not dry for the upcoming signals recently. And yet, wildfire smoke, Paul, could move in and out of our region this week as well. Another fire has erupted in Nova Scotia. And David, you're most welcome as well. Thanks so much for tuning in. And yep, holiday weekend, Alex. I'll talk to you instead of a Holiday Monday edition today. I'll see you in 6 days for back to our normal weekly Sunday sunset chat. Camden Walker signing off. Have a good, short work week this week, and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye for now.